Whether we like it or not, the internet is about to completely change, and in some ways, it already has. Most of us who grew up helping our parents fix their computers or carefully curating our social media feeds like to think of ourselves as technologically savvy. But if we don't course correct, none of us will be equipped for the perfect storm that is coming to online content. What awaits us is the unholy combination of addictive algorithms fine-tuned to retain your attention at all costs, and the generative engines of AI capable of supplying it with an infinite stock of the content it needs. By this point, everyone is at least a little bit familiar with AI. It's been the talk of the internet for the last 4 to 5 months. People have seen pictures and videos of celebrities doing things that they have never done. We've seen AI mimic the speech and voice patterns of the US president so that they can play Minecraft. We've seen AI generate digital art instantly. LinkedIn is full of posts with people telling you how to automate your workflow, have AI send cold emails, recruit clients for you, edit your videos, etc., etc. The point is, most of us are beginning to understand what's on the horizon for AI technologies, but we only understand it in a vacuum. To really understand its true potential, we have to understand a phenomenon I like to refer to as the TikTokification of culture. Let's go back 10 years. The year is 2013. The world is just recovering from Google has just started requiring you to have a Google Plus account in order to be able to comment on YouTube. Selfie was the word of the year on the internet. Was that really that long ago? Twitter Inc., before it was run by that guy, launched a new app called Vine. It was the first champion of true short-form video content, limiting its creators to 6 seconds. It was through this platform that some of today's big names in entertainment, like Zach King, rose to popularity. While this business model never proved viable for Vine, it was the proof of concept that would create a monster. Popularity on the platform was achieved through loops, a completely novel concept at the time that allowed its creators lots of flexibility. Flash forward to 2016, the Chinese company ByteDance acquired the up-and-coming app called Musical.ly. It allowed people to lip sync to songs, and that was about all it did. But then they combined it with their user base of Douyin, and the international phenomenon of TikTok was born. TikTok's main draw was its signature swiping, auto-playing format, which allowed its creators to publish videos up to 60 seconds in length. A creator's main goal thus became how to keep people on their video instead of scrolling away. TikTok's personalized algorithm became its greatest strength, and its user base exploded during the quarantine in 2020 when users were searching for ways to entertain themselves with their phone. Today, it boasts over 1 billion monthly users, and other platforms have attempted to replicate its success like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Spotify for some reason. So why was this format so powerful? Well, many people have done more in-depth analysis than I have, but in short, it comes down to the randomness factor. And I say randomness very loosely because, of course, as we just discussed, it's not random at all, but very deeply personalized. It's very carefully tailored to your specific desires. But to the naked eye, it's not observable. Even if we know it's happening, we don't observe it as we're scrolling through our feeds. So when you're scrolling through it, you don't have to do the work of choosing which video you're going to commit to watching like you would with YouTube. Instead, the next video just appears, and it knows that it's probably a topic you have some sort of interest in watching. And if you don't, you can just scroll to the next video. Its design is sinisterly akin to a slot machine, in that you put in just a little bit of effort for a chance of getting something really exciting. Both real feeds and dating apps capitalize on FOMO, or the fear of missing out, to keep its users engaged. If you stop scrolling now, you might miss out on the most exciting piece of content you've seen all day, or, the love of your life. These apps are essentially the slot machines of the soul, and we've allowed them to control our lives. Oof. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah. The problem's about to get a lot worse. Jonathan Haidt and Eric Schmidt had an article in The Atlantic recently titled, "AI is about to make social media much more toxic." In it, they detail 4 specific concerns about how AI is about to affect our public discourse and online interactions. First being that AI-generated content is going to drastically erode our already pathetic online social conversations. Second is AI chatbots pretending to be real people. Designed around our search history, interests, and weaknesses, they can emulate real people and then influence us or even scam us. Third is the elevated risk to children in the online space. If adults can be influenced by fake videos and images and by AI chatbots, imagine what that can do to impressionable children. And 4, of course, is the increased ability of authoritarian regimes to influence and manipulate the media consumed by its citizens. The authors of this article offer several policy solutions, most having to do with user authentication, child protection, and mandatory AI disclaimers. But I'm more interested in what this new online era will mean for creators and consumers. For users, this means that you should probably guard your consumption habits, diminish your dependency on devices. The world is competing for your attention and you need to be very careful what you give them access to. You should consume critically. Be careful and cautious when you're reading news. Don't get your news from TikTok. For brands and creators, if you have a message, idea, or product to share, the defining challenge for you in the 21st century is going to be learning to tell that story as concisely and authentically as possible. Otherwise, you're going to lose your viewer to something more stimulating. And side note, it's become quite fashionable to speak of authenticity when you're really talking about being casual or unfiltered. This is why we get nonsense like sponsored product ads on Instagram shot to look as if some normal person filmed it on their iPhone and just reviewed this product. Or why we get TikToks where people are screaming to the void over inconsequential issues because drama sells. People are right to say, be authentic, but that should really mean being more sincere and purposeful, something which is more likely to describe your words if you've carefully considered all the factors of the thing you're talking about and not just giving a raw, visceral reaction. And honestly, just being sincere and purposeful might be broadly applicable advice for us as we prepare to partake in this online culture of meaningless, mass-produced dopamine stimulation. And at this point, many of you might rightly be asking, well, if it's going to be so bad, maybe I just shouldn't be a part of it. And candidly, this is something I've thought through quite a bit. And I know many people who've just decided my life is better off without social media, and my life is better off not partaking in the online culture. But I'm not sure this is realistic for all of us. Underneath all the messiness, the internet is fundamentally a tool and a vehicle for sharing information and inspiring other people. Yes, there are dangers and concerns, but also there's so much opportunity. I know I've learned a great deal about media, business, and fiscal responsibility from the internet, and I hope that I can provide some of that value to you in return. As the great writer Andy Crouch once said, the only way to change culture is to make more of it. And that's what I intend to do. If this video helped you, leave a comment below, and if you want to know why you should never take your phone up with you to speak in front of a group, click right here.